Okay, my qualifications. Just like I said, my name is Consilia Njoku. I'm a contract engineer. I I studied petroleum engineering. I graduated in 2010 from University of Port Harcourt, and since then I've been working as a contract engineer in the oil and gas services sector. I have more than 10 years experience working as a contract engineer. And then, in addition, following my son's diagnosis, I've been working. I have hands-on experience working as a therapist, as a speech and occupational therapist for my son. Hands-on experience, and even okay. Then this year, by the time I decided to go on with this, my awareness, I decided to get a certification on occupational therapy. So I did a training on occupational therapy. I have a certification on occupational therapy. So I'm an occupational therapist. And even at this time, presently, I'm also doing a diploma in child psychology, which I believe will also help me to understand very much better how to work with children. Then my husband is also an engineer. He's also a petroleum engineer. My husband studied mechanical engineering, has a bachelor's mechanical engineering from University of Nigeria in Soka, and he also has master's in petroleum engineering from Italy, and then currently he works as a senior drilling engineer. He's a senior drilling engineer. So you can see that most of the work that will be done on this campaign, Autism Awareness campaign, will be done by me. My husband is very busy and we don't have much time to get involved so much, but he would also be there for support. So that's it. Okay, so let me also talk about what is autism. Some people might be watching what I'm saying and they won't even understand what I'm trying to say about autism. So let me just, in a layman language, let me just say a few things about autism. So I can say that autism is a kind of anomaly. It's caused by anomaly in the brain. It's a kind of difference. It's caused by a difference. Something happens in the brain sometime during the child's development, which the doctors don't even yet understand how it happens, but there is something that happens in the child's brain. There's a difference in the child's brain which makes the child to behave differently from other typical children. It makes the child to behave to talk most times to make the child not to talk at the right time, at the time when the child is supposed to talk. It makes the child not to really know so much about what goes on the environment, on his environment. The way the child relates with other children will be different from what we all know. So the thing is, autism just makes a child behave differently. Most times it doesn't show on the child's face. When you see a child who has autism, you just see the child walking on the road, you will not know. But when you come close and when you try to talk to the child, you will now notice that, oh, this child actually behaves differently. And some people in our communities just believe that these children are maybe a cause to the family, or the thing that is happening to the child is because the mom is a witch, or and most times I don't even know why they always put the blame on the mom. Most times they will say the problem is on the mom. I don't know why they always say they would say, either they say the mom is, or they will say maybe the parents in our villages, they will say maybe the parents of the child has used the child for rituals or stuff like that, and they will now believe that the child cannot achieve anything in life, that there's no need of even trying to waste your child time with the child. They will just, most times they just abandon that child to just be on their own, and they will grow. And there's something I need to point out. One thing I need parents to understand is that the therapy for autistic children works better from when they are very, very tender, from childhood, from when they are still toddlers, because a child's brain develops rapidly between 1 year and 5 years old. So and therapy is more like trying to train the child's brain, trying to take the brain through a repeated routine over and over again until the child's brain starts to adapt to that condition, adapt to those things that you're teaching that child. It's about like training the brain to adapt to a particular condition, a particular way of doing things. And so it's very much important to always, once you notice that there's something not going well in your child's behavior or the way your child behaves around other children, or the way your child reacts to things that are when someone is talking to them, or when you call them they don't answer their names, or the child is just not talking. When you notice that there's a problem after 1 year, after 2 years, you notice that there's a problem, your child is actually not meeting. Most times they meet their milestones from the first 1 year, then you will now start seeing some setbacks. So once you see that your child is having some setbacks, at most from 2 years old, try to start doing something. Even though sometimes they will say, some psychologists will tell you that they will not do, some child psychologists will tell you they won't do diagnosis until the child is 3 years old. So even if you're waiting for 3 years old to go and do diagnosis for your child, it's always very good for you to start doing something. Just start doing something. Start doing speech therapy. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing you would lose from doing the therapy, So and this therapy is just about teaching, just a way of teaching repeatedly in a particular specific way that you teach a child, repeating the same thing over and over again, doing it every day and over again to help that child, So it's always very, very advisable for every parent to try and start therapy for their child between 2 years or even between 3 years, from 2 or 3 years to 5 years old. Make sure that before your child gets to 5 years old, you have already started therapy. It's very, very important, because if you start this therapy early, which they call early intervention, if you start this therapy early, it will help your child to be able to progress fast and catch up with their mates. Before you know it, if it's done intensively, and if you follow the right way and put all your time in it and put all your energy in it, and you do this therapy intensively for your child, before your child gets to like 10 years old, nobody will even know that child was ever autistic. Even though the child, autism, it doesn't have a cure. You're not going to cure everything. Not going to like go away totally. Even in the future, your child, like maybe social skills may not be the same as like other typical children. My child might be introverted or one thing or the other. They will still be like few traits, but your child will be okay. But you'll be happy that your child is able to achieve anything that they want to achieve in life. Your child will live his normal life, and everything will be going on well. And you as a mom, you as a parent, will be fulfilled to see your child doing well, So it's always good to start this therapy very, very early in life, so that your child will grow well and progress well and do well in all aspects of his life, So that's what I have to say to parents about it.